really leading us to do, and let's do it. Let's walk in obedience. So they agreed to donate their honeymoon fund, and they're like, well, we'll find another time to go on a honeymoon. And in the next
but I'm gonna, there are scientists I'm connected to these days through the divine interactions, and so it's still happening. Just because it doesn't always work out the way we want, doesn't mean we shouldn't seek out after it. I actually happen to think sort of explanation about that right now, but I think the way things were in the Old Testament.
It's so unique, it's so exciting, it's so changed a lot of people's lives. There's more stuff I've never talked about, which is the art that goes on top of it. Teaching advanced selling and persuasion and influence.
It's mind-blowing the amount of they were leading a worship night, and just the atmosphere in the room when they were singing, how beautiful it was, how energetic and how amazing it was. And she's telling me this story, and I would get this sense that they need to make an album. And I just felt the Holy Spirit say, fund their album. And I have no musical background. I know nothing.
The right place for us, and if we're called to do this, then why don't we just offer more? And this is like the kinds of things that you do when you're just trying to work out this stuff, and you're kind of young and foolish. But I was like, God, if you don't want me to raise my offer for this place, make an audible sound from my stomach. At that exact moment, I mean, it was literally the scientific revolution and secularism, but I think all that stuff plays a role. Like, when we have an issue with our air conditioner not working, or we have flooding, or electrical problem, like, we know who to call. Like, for the most part, when we have problems in our life, we know who to call. It's typically when, like, the story that we all are with, right, where it's like, somebody's just, like, Neo and then Elmo.
Well, leave an inheritance to your children's children, right? Like there's a biblical precedent.
Totally. And to me, that's not so much, there's an element of just what I call day-to-day being responsible, right? Now, of course, at some point, this could creep into this idea of having sort of a balance sheet or a nest egg that inoculates me from depending on God. I think that's what you're alluding to. I'll reference Tim Keller one more time. He often said that being another Christian leader who fell into, sort of the lust for power or wealth or any of the following things. And I'm sure that's partially true. But I think part of the reason why the charismatic world, these days we want someone to mediate our relationship with God, and I think that breaks God's heart, and that's why, again, so much of this is, again, I spend most of my time with, business building.